AEW allows you to have more aura.
It's true.
You can be more yourself. They don't put you into the box of like what your character's supposed to be.
Yeah.
The lines between heel and face are a little more blurred. It feels a lot. It's not like this person's a bad guy, this person's a good guy. It's no, in this circumstance against this wrestler, this is why you're presented this way. This is your story being told this way.
Yeah. And like MJF really has played both sides. He's played face, he's played heel. Some people don't like his face work as much as his heel work. He's kind of this like anti-hero. When you do want to cheer for him, you do cheer for him. When you boo him, it's because it's fun to boo him.
You're gonna clip this and I'm gonna hate every comment I get about it. Are him and Seth Rollins kind of like the comparison for the companies?
Ooh, that would be a fire clip, and yes.
Like, where when you want to hate Seth, it's so easy to hate him. But every time he comes out, I want to whoa with him. And, like, you get what I'm saying. It feels like no matter what side he's on, the crowd has the reaction they should.
For sure.
Or the reaction you want to give is the character he is. And I feel like Seth and him do that equally. Where they're both massively annoying heels. And their face work is like, you're better suited to be a heel, but I still like you as a face.
No, that's an interesting discussion for sure. I think, yeah, I definitely see the comparisons between him and Seth Rollins, but I think MJF just kind of does it better. I don't know if you didn't see any of Raw actually. Seth Rollins had a promo and he just got no pop at all.
Oh no, I saw.
Yeah,
that.
he said I always have a plan B, and nobody fucked with him.
Yeah, but I just think
people fuck with MJF.
Yeah, I think it's just because they did a predictable angle. I don't think that's on Seth in particular. They did a good job of swerving us on it. When Becky was posting that, I was like, oh, cool, we're good. But yeah, I don't know. We've talked. We'll talk more about that swerve at the end.
Yeah.
Because I want to kind of just like do a summary of wrestling.
No, of course.
But yeah, I think that's the comp. I feel like if you had to make a comp, those two go very well together. But I agree. I think MJF. I just think the crowd's more responsive to MJF.
I think a lot of the AEW crowd is just more responsive in general.
Yeah, no, the AEW crowd's much louder.
Well, it's just because you're giving the people what they want. You're not having to censor their crowd chants. You're not having to censor their boos for your choices.
Yeah, I think one thing WWE does is they force the narrative they want.
Yeah.
When I feel like AEW narrative is the story that's told, and the crowd takes it as they take it.
Which can switch on the
which I've seen go bad. I've seen this like. The free market of ideas for the crowd go bad for the AEW,
yeah.
Where they don't get the reaction they want and everyone clowns it on Twitter, right? But also like when it hits that much harder because the crowd cares so much more. But I also feel like, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like AEW is more of a wrestling fan's show.
Oh, yeah.
The casual's going to watch WWE, the casual's not going to watch AEW, just as if you're paying to go to an AEW show, you probably care about wrestling more than if you're taking your kids to a WWE event.
Oh, yeah. For sure. Marks go to AEW shows.
Yeah, I think marks go to AEW shows and casuals are like, oh, WWE's in town?
Yeah.
Oh, let me go root for the guys I know.
And, we're just two marks that watch wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Is Mark Briscoe cool?
Speaking of Marks,
is Mark Briscoe cool?
No, Mark Briscoe. I really do like Mark Briscoe. He's grown into a huge singles talent since the passing of his brother. His brother died in a car accident 2-3 years ago.
Rest in peace.
And ever since that, Mark Briscoe has trying to been establishing himself as like this solo competitor, slowly in Ring of Honor, slowly in AEW. He had to establish himself. Like for a very long time, the Briscoe brothers weren't even allowed on AEW TV.
Jeez. So
it's like, just even having him on TV is a very big deal. He's kind of fighting for the legacy of his brother. He knows redneck kung fu, chicken kung fu. He
He's missing his two front teeth.
He's missing his front teeth. And he's a lot of fun to watch.
The match was really fun. The MJF Briscoe match was fun. My main note is MJF is a hilarious seller.
Yeah.
The way he sells is funny. Like, I found myself throughout this AEW show laughing more than I do at WWE, and I don't know if that's normal or if it's just my first time experiencing it, and that's why it's funny. But I feel like it's a like how it dips more into entertainment. Like MJF walking away from the match is just like funny. And like those kinds of things, like the way sometimes the way he sells is just like when he's laying on the floor and his feet are draping on the ring. It's like, all right, this guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he definitely. And this isn't even just the tip of the iceberg for MJF selling. MJF
I've
is
seen
one of
some
my
hilarious
favorite
clips.
One of my favorite vocal sellers.
Oh yeah,
he talks. He'll like get caught in the middle of a move. He'll go, "Oh, what the?" And
I've seen
get
those.
Slammed, and it's like. It's fun. It's fun watching him wrestle.
That's the thing I wish Solo would do with his animations. Like Solo does the animated, but he doesn't say anything. I wish he would say things, but that's where like when Solo goes up to a power bomb and he like prays.
Yeah.
He's like
yeah.
Like that, but MJF does that vocally a lot more.
And I think that's just
the tip of the iceberg.
Well, just as we've said with a lot of these wrestlers, they're coming from their independent background. They're not just trained in this
arena style,
like WWE arena style. So they have to learn to cater and be loud to high school gyms, to these smaller venues.
And it translates
to make sure it sounds like it hurts.
Yep.
Because
dude, those super kicks sounded a lot louder tonight than they usually do.
Because it's a lot harder to fake something in front of 12 people in a high school gym than it is a big arena,
which is so like crazy to think about. Like it's so backwards.
But MJF and Mark Briscoe put on a very good match. We've kind of been waiting on this match for a while now, making fun of his tiny kosher pickle. MJF did nothing wrong, kind of like using cheap heel tactics, rolling out of the ring, trying to, you put the ref in front of him, put the crowd in front of him, roll away from the table, and he nearly gets away with a count-out victory over Mark Briscoe here.
Until Briscoe tries to jump in,
gets hit with MJF's signature or finisher, I'm not quite sure.
Something.
The heat-seeking missile, I believe.
Was that it?
Heat seeker?
So I think it's the Heat Seeker, something like that. So
Heat-seeking driver or something? But he wins with that move off the rope, but Mark Briscoe threw his leg up on the rope, and MJF quickly, before the ref reverses his decision, throws his leg off of the rope and throws Mark Briscoe's phone onto the damn floor. No, this was a great match. It wasn't a no DQ match, and that's something that like you didn't even comment on that like
the table broke and it wasn't a no DQ match.
Well, the table broke, but also they were like fighting out in the ring and stuff. Something you'll notice with AEW is like they kind of get loosey-goosey with the rules when they want to. If the ref doesn't want to like call countouts, they're like, yeah, you can fight in the crowd, but like you better get back in here, guys. You guys are
but like also like technically Briscoe didn't put MJF through the table because he missed, so it's not a DQ because
it's not a DQ anyway.
He jumped himself through. That's what I'm saying. He jumped himself through the table. So even if they wanted to call a DQ, they couldn't. But I get what you're saying. Like I didn't even recognize. But it's also just like he wasn't counting, so I didn't tell.
Well, that's the thing. It's just AEW is just very loosey goosey.
But then they try to make it a count out thing at the end. I get what you mean. Like I could have commented, but I don't. But like I said, I think it flowed so well I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
And that's what's fun. Like I wasn't sitting there like,
man, where's the rules? Where's my count out?
That's what makes these like you're so caught up with how exciting the match is, or like what's happening in the match.
You don't care that the rules are being broken.
Exactly. It can be stretched a little bit, and you're like, okay, cool. They're fighting in the crowd. Like I wish they did that more.
Yeah.
Overall, was a pretty good show. It was a solid AEW show. I wouldn't say it was their best, but I definitely would not say it's their worst.
I think it was a really fortunately it was a good intro show.
It was a very good intro show to kind of
no payoffs to feuds.
Yeah.
The only payoff was the Hurt Syndicate dropping MJF, but I was informed of that on Twitter, so I kind of still cared a little. You know what I mean? Like, that was the only thing I missed out on, being informed of, like, rivalry-wise or things that are important. I got to see the Fatal 4-Way into the title match that if we would have watched next week would have been like, how did she earn this match? You know what I mean? Like, we got to see a great intro episode, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I've watched AEW before. You've watched clips and stuff online. Would you watch AEW again?
Yes.
Would you consistently watch AEW?
If I'm free, we do the pod on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
So it depends on what time you show up.
Yeah.